So if you've been on the internet for more than like 5 minutes trying to learn about business, you've heard the gurus, right? They all preach the same thing. Start with an anonymous holding company. But what if I told you that's the single biggest mistake you can make? Today, we are tearing up that old script and giving you a real-world playbook for building your empire the right way from the ground up.
And look, this whole thing comes from a really personal place. A big mistake. It's about that light bulb moment when you realize that following the popular advice can actually lead you down a dead-end street. We're going to map out the journey from the guru way to the way that actually works in the real world.
So that's the big question, isn't it? If the common wisdom is a trap, then what's the alternative? How do you lay a foundation that's actually built for real growth, for getting real funding, and for long-term success? Well, that's exactly what we're about to break down.
All right, here's our game plan. First up, we're going to bust the holding company myth. Then we'll dive into the money-first strategy. After that, I'm going to give you the exact blueprint for your first company. We'll talk about some killer power tools, think YouTube and AI. And finally, we'll put it all together so you can build your future empire. Let's get into it.
All right, Section 1, the holding company myth. You know the one I'm talking about. It's this idea that gurus are always pushing that your very first move should be to hide your business behind layers of anonymity. But here's the thing, that can be a huge, huge trap when you're just starting out.
Okay, just look at the difference here. On one side, you've got the Guru Playbook. It's all about complex, anonymous setups in places like Wyoming from day one. And on the other side, the real-world playbook. It's so much simpler. An operational company focused on one thing, making money. And you set it up right where you live. It's a total flip of the script.
So here's the fatal flaw, the big problem with starting anonymous. What's the first thing you need as a business? A bank account, right? Maybe a credit card. Well, the second you walk into that bank, you have to give them your name, your social security number, everything. Poof, your anonymity is gone, just like that. You've just paid for this complex, expensive setup that's now totally useless for building the one thing you actually need, business credit.
Okay, so if anonymity is out, what's in? That brings us to Section 2, the money-first strategy. And this is the absolute core of the whole playbook. Forget the fancy legal tricks. The real foundation of any successful business is consistent, provable cash flow. Plain and simple. Because at the end of the day, money talks, especially to the banks.
But how much money are we talking about here? Is it some crazy, unattainable number? Not at all. Here's the magic number you're aiming for. $4,000 to $5,000 a month. That's it. Consistently depositing $4,000 to $5,000 into your business account every month. That is the signal. That's what tells a bank, hey, this is a real business, it's active, it's legitimate.
And here's why that works so well. Those consistent deposits are like a heartbeat for your business. They're proof of life. Banks see that activity, and they lend based on that cash flow, not just some old credit score. You could even be doing something like Uber or DoorDash, getting those daily deposits. There's a great example where someone with a 575 credit score, which is pretty low, got a $5,000 credit line from Navy Federal, just based on those deposits. That's the power of putting money first.
Okay, so we get it. Cash flow is king. But what kind of company do you actually set up? How do you do it? That leads us right into Section 3, your first company blueprint. This is the how-to, the step-by-step playbook you can follow.
It really comes down to 4 key steps. Step 1, go with a C Corp. Now, why a C Corp? Simple. It's the best structure if you think you might ever want to sell the company or bring in investors. Step 2, set it up in your home state. Forget Delaware for now. This makes getting a local bank account a breeze. Steps 3 and 4 are super important. Pick a low-risk NICS code and make sure you look professional. We got to dig into those too.
All right, so what in the world is an NICS code? It sounds complicated, but it's not. Just think of it like a category code for your business. It's how you tell the government, and more importantly, the banks, what your business does. And trust me, the code you pick makes a huge difference in whether a bank sees you as a safe bet or a major risk.
And here's a little pro tip for you. A fantastic low-risk code to use is Software Publisher. Why? Because banks love finding tech businesses. They see it as modern and low risk. And the best part is it's super versatile. It can cover pretty much any online business you can think of, a YouTube channel, an online store, you name it.
Last piece of the setup puzzle. You've got to look legit. This checklist is non-negotiable. You need a real business address, not a P.O. box. Get a domain name and a professional email that matches, like info@yourcompany.com. A 1-800 number is a great touch. It just adds a layer of professionalism. And definitely get a registered agent. That keeps your home address private and off public records. This whole package makes you look like a serious, credible business.
All right, now for the fun part. How do you compete with the big guys when you're just starting out? That brings us to Section 4, your power tools. We're talking about YouTube and AI. Seriously, these are the game changers, the great equalizers.
I mean, just think about it for a second. Go back to like 1998. If you wanted to market your business, what did you do? You bought expensive radio ads, or you were out there sticking flyers on windshields. It was a grind. Now, fast forward to today, and the whole world has changed. You've got YouTube, a free global platform to reach anyone. And you've got AI, like having a super smart assistant working for you 24/7.
So this is your modern toolkit. And the best part? A lot of it is free. You can use YouTube to get insane exposure and pull in local customers that'll give you those daily deposits we talked about. You can use AI tools to handle all the tedious stuff, writing content, managing tasks, so you can focus on what actually makes money. These aren't just cool new toys. They are literally the engine that can power your growth from day one.
And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, the big payoff. You've built your operational company. It's making money. It's building credit. Now is the time we can finally talk about that holding company. This is where it actually makes sense.
The end goal here is to build your personal fortress. Think about it. That first company, that was your workshop. That's where you built everything. This fortress, this is what you build with the profits. Its job isn't to make money. Its job is to protect the money you've already made. It's all about asset protection and securing your future.
And this is what that fortress looks like. It's a pyramid. At the very top, you have a living trust. Think of it as the ultimate boss. It owns everything. That trust owns your anonymous holding company, which acts like a shield. And under that shield, that's where your operational businesses live, each in its own separate LLC. So if something goes wrong with one business, it's contained. It can't take down your whole empire.
But I have to say this one more time, because it's the most important takeaway. This structure, this whole fortress, this is an endgame move. This is what you build after you're already making money. You don't start here. You build it with the profits from that first, simple operational company we talked about.
This quote just says it all perfectly, doesn't it? You're still the president and the CEO of a company you don't own. Here's how it works. You basically sell your successful company to your holding company. So you still get to run the show, you're the president, you make all the calls, but legally, on paper, you don't own it anymore. And that separation is what protects your personal stuff if the business ever gets into trouble.
So let's just wrap this all up. The path to building a real business empire doesn't start with hiding. It starts with hustling. It's about focusing like a laser on one thing first, profit. Get that operational company going. Get the money flowing in. Build that business credit. That is the only foundation that matters.
Look, your first company's job isn't to be invisible. Its job is to be a workhorse. Its job is to build cash flow, to build credit, and to build a foundation for everything you want to do next. So really, the only question is, what are you going to start building today?